June 20, 1917, Bariloche, Argentina. Dear Mr. Kirchner, my dear friend, it has been a long time since we talked to or seen each other. Today, I come to you with my concerns about the entry of the United States into the war. Why did they have to wait until we were out of the war to enter? And most importantly, if they win the war, will there be repercussions against us? Don't they understand that with our internal war we can fight against another country? We didn't want to get out of the war. We wanted to win. However, we had to leave it, not just for the casualties that we had in the time that we were there, but for the deaths that we were having in our own country. I hope you can help me answer this question soon. I will be waiting for your reply. Your old friend, Ostap Muravka, Minister of Defense of Russia, St. Petersburg, Russia.
July 17, 1917, San Antonio, Texas. Dear Mr. Jacob Bridge, I still don't understand how Soviets dare to think that they entered just war because they left. There were other factors for our entry. They left, and our friends needed help to fight to those Germans. The same Germans who stopped Lusitanian ships that carry some of our belongings of U.S. citizens, the ones who also threatened us of sending the secret telegram to German ambassador in Mexico to propose the alliance and to help them recuperate the part of our territory like Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas if they fought with them in war. Those are the real reasons why we entered war. It was not about fighting by them sides. It was about defending our country and helping our allied nation. We should never trust the communists again. Your brother-in-law, Michael Roth, Minister of War in the United States of America, Washington, D.C.
July 25th, 1919, Moscow, Russia. Political advice. Dear Jarapov, Warren, those Americans, who do they think they are? They didn't invite us to the Treaty of Versailles and decided not to help us with the plans we lost during the war, like Finland, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. We also fought in that war on the winning side. But we left for internal reasons, and then they entered at the end of it. They didn't have nearly as much casualties as we did, and they still looking like the heroes. They took all the credit for a victory that was also ours. Now they have the power to decide what should be the future of Europe, and they are not even part of it. But we are, and they don't even let us give our opinion in the treaty where they were given. They just didn't invite us to the treaty because we're communists. They also supported the monarchs before. They lost and got retired from our country, which they want to invade. That is why they left the monarch. But their plan didn't work, and they have to create another. Secret Abdo, Minister of Propaganda of Russia, St. Petersburg, Russia.
July 27, 1919, Denver, Colorado. Dear Kim Dermot, how dare those communists ask why they weren't invited to the Treaty of Versailles? They signed the deal with Germany after they dropped out of the war. Allies needed them, but they were not concentrated about themselves. They didn't care about them soldiers and people, and were treating their own crowns, just sending them to the war without the proper treating. They can't blame us from their casualties. It's not our fault that they weren't intelligent enough training their soldiers before putting them into a huge war. We also lost soldiers in the war. They weren't the only one who's lost lives and territory. I can't understand how can be upset about being invited of the treaty. Either way, they will just concentrate about themselves in our discussion and trying to spur communists that they have it in their blood. Your good friend and brother, Robert Darnett, President of Democrats, New York City, New September 16, 1939, Washington, D.C. Dear Richard G. Hills. They did it again! They signed the pact with the German. Again, just last time. Why are they so egocentric, leaving the Allies alone another time? They did it to protect themselves. This time they didn't have an internal wall to hide which side they were not. How can they be so self-centered? I know it's going to be wrong. Their plan won't work. Neither the Germans nor the Soviets are trustable. Then they invaded Poland, which made us debut them even more. They are just like the Allied powers, but even worse, because they are communists. Saltin ordered the distribution of Jill's temple in Russia. Imagine what he could do with more power if they get it. Even his own country is afraid of him. There is rumor or said never in Communist Party. Leon Trotsky was found murdered in Mexico by Saltin orders. Soviets just follow his rules because they aren't scared. He might kill them or put them in jail. He is rolling with fear. Starting, it's not much better than Hitler. Both are hungry for power. Rich D. Forster, Boston, Massachusetts, Democratic Party.
January 12, 1944, London, England. Dear Precious Bosher, you were my father's good friend. You advised him during World War I. Today, I come to you with questions about why the youth isn't helping us to save our country. Why are they like that? We need their help, and why are they making us wait? They just want the Germans to murder us. Then they will fight at them and win our territory. They just wanting to enter the war at the last minute to take all the credit, like they did last time. They will want territory and we can't allow that. We didn't lose masses of our people just so they could take our territory. Vasilov, Moravia, St. Petersburg, Russia. August 15, 1945. Kazan, Russia. There, the gun. I'm preoccupied by the atomic bombs that have been dropped on Japan. Truman told me last month about a powerful weapon. He didn't say much about it. I have learned that it was an atomic bomb and he dropped it on Japan. Those Americans just want to intimidate us, don't they? Since it was not just one, they were two. Do you think that we may be the next target? After he told me about his weapon, I told him that Japan's ambassador here had asked for peace, but he didn't pay attention to me. I may understand the first one, but the second was just a direct truth to us. After the first bomb went to the war, a couple days later, they dropped it at the second. Just 5 days later, Japan surrendered, and we lost provisions and time. We won't let them intimidate us. Joseph Stalin, Supreme Commander of the Soviet Union, Moscow, Russia.
"1945, London, England, Mr. Wilson Churchill. Can you believe those soldiers dare to think that we dropped the bombs in Japan because of them? By dropping the bombs, we saved many of US soldiers' lives. Even if the bomb killed millions of Japanese citizens, we didn't start it. We didn't get involved. They just attack us from not apparent reason. When we dropped bombs, we didn't just save our live soldiers, we helped them to save Japanese people's lives too, because the Japanese would continue killing them by the masses. We didn't use the Russians' help invaded because if they won, they would want part of Japan. They would infect it with their communists. Japan was not agreeing to negotiate anything, so we have to end this war. We save as many lives as possible. This cut off the agony of war. Henry S. Truman, President of United States of America, Washington.